Yo, party people, what's up? How about that episode of Dynamite that just went off the air? It was totally great from top to bottom, start to finish. From great banger matches to possible reunions, great title defenses all over the place, and maybe a double turn. Guys, there was so much to go over on this episode of Dynamite. Just because the show is over don't mean that the good times have to stop. Because the newest episode of The Gift of Gabe covering this week's Dynamite is about to start. You guessed it, right now. Alright guys, so we got things started off with for our first of our two title matches here on Dynamite tonight. Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal, all Atlantic title action. Nice, solid, fun match. You know, I enjoyed the little shenanigans with like best friends. You know, some could argue that, you know, maybe the thing with old Sanjay would have gotten fired if, you know, they got like involved and interfered. Could have been like really too much, but I think it was fine. It made for the match to be nice and fun. But once again, Orange Cassidy retains. He is still the king of the Atlantic. Dude's not getting knocked off. He is enjoying a great 3-month reign as champion. I can't wait to see what comes more from him. We already told you guys on the last episode, this is the Takeshita campaign for him being the next All-Atlantic champion. So, Tony Khan, start booking that. Because god dang it, he called MJF an asshole tonight, and he deserves to be a champion. So, again, the campaign continues. So, Orange, watch out. Still my dude, but watch your back. But until then, keep killing it as champion OC. Can't wait to see what you got next. And, you know, it was nice to see Danhausen, you know, musically curse Jay Lethal. It was absolutely magnificent and very evil. Alright, guys, after that, we had the Young Bucks coming off the finale of their Best of 7 series as 2/3 of the new Trios champions, undisputed Trios champions without a doubt, going up against the Red Hot Top Flight, who literally over the past couple weeks have been going at it with the BCC and losing efforts, but they have absolutely been killing it. I have said here on this show how every one of us, including me, that we are recognizing them finally as the top tier talents that they can, and now finally are, you know, now like they've avoided the injury bug. I hope more on that a little bit later while I'm talking. But their match was totally great against the Young Bucks. I know the Young Bucks have some of their haters, but deep down, they know, you know, what the rest of us know. Young Bucks can put on a great match any single day of the week, and they did that. And on top of that, Top Flight actually won! It was great. So happy for them. You didn't want, I saw some reports going into this. The guys are like, you don't want them to be like Takeshita and not have that big match yet, even though he keeps putting on banger after banger after, what's the word? Oh yeah, banger. But that didn't happen. They were able to pick up the huge, big, fat W. Oh, Dante's doing okay. He looked like he was like limping away at the end right there. I hope it was just, you know, like kayfabe kind of thing. Hope he's doing good, because this is definitely not the time for that injury bug to be coming around. They have such great momentum right now to the point where we literally believe they can be tag team champions this year before it is done, and can actually dethrone the Red Hot Acclaim too, because they're red hot too. So, hoping he's good. I haven't really heard anything about him being legitimately injured. I hope that stays the case. I want to see him keep putting on a great match after great match after great match and getting win after win after win. I think somewhere along the line, maybe even double or nothing, if everything goes right, Top Flight, Acclaimed, AEW World Tag Team titles, and Top Flight gets their crowning moment, and we all lose our minds, just like when the Acclaimed won at Grand Slam last year, and it would be another great, wholesome moment for AEW, us as the fan base, and for them as future champions. So let everything just stay the course so that that doesn't get messed up, because I love these guys from the bottom of my heart. They're so talented. I don't want them to be held back anymore. Stuff like they did tonight is exactly why they are, once again, the future of the tag team wrestling and future tag champs here in AEW. We got a little backstage segment later on in the night from Hangman Adam Page, fresh off that match with Moxley. He mentioned in it that, you know, he feels like he got his word back after giving it the first time, saying that he was going to win the AEW World title, and, you know, Mox knocked him out. So he feels like he got that back for himself in terms of some like vindication with that win last week, which was great. I hope this story isn't over. I don't think it is, but you heard him mention to Renee. He's going to try to have some tough conversations and, you know, try to mend fences. Is he talking about possibly joining the elite? The elite. God, guys, that would be great. I saw one person actually say this Maybe more of you did, but I love this idea. You get Hangman back into the fold with the Elite, and it builds toward a big faction feud of the BCC against the Elite here in 2023. I would absolutely love that. I think all of us would love that. That's an amazing kind of feud. Maybe that's what Hangman and Moxley is kind of leading us to. You know, it starts out with just them, but then they bring their factions into it, and it just becomes an all-out brutal war. Hell, maybe it goes long enough to maybe we can have another Anarchy in the Arena match or something. I would love to see another one of those, and maybe Blood and Guts later down the line. I would absolutely love to see that brutality between literally one of the best factions of all time and one of the newest factions that has risen over the last year and a half to become, you know, as dominant as they are in the Elite versus the BCC. So hopefully that could be what we're leading to, but we got to figure out who exactly Hangman's talking about when he's talking about mending fences. He could be talking about Dark Order too. Who knows? If you're watching BTE, you know, they're trying to do their whole recruitment boot camp. Maybe he finally becomes an actual official complete member of Dark Order, or at least starts, you know, being around him more often. Feels like kind of like segue a little bit after the Trios title tournament where they failed. So either way, I think it's good. Going to be good from any perspective. So can't wait to see how Hangman's going to mend fences. You already know it's going to lead to something great. So guys, the question was answered tonight. What happens when you take someone who's absolute and you put them again in the ring with someone who really likes his hat? The answer is an absolute victory for Absolute Ricky Starks. It was amazing. Jericho, keep lining him up. He's going to keep knocking him down and making sure your plans for him to fail are absolutely, completely worthless. He survived again. It looks like he's going to have a tag team match next week against Chris Jericho and either Daniel Garcia or Sammy Guevara, which I just want to take a minute. That pairing, I really kind of hope they expand on it a little bit more, because it's just funny. The whole time Sammy's like, dude, yeah, this is what we've been training for. And it's like, dude, you're like almost the same age. And then it's like, dude, like, I love you, man. Like, and like they're hugging, and it's like, come on, man, like, don't, like, why are you hugging me? But then, like, God just eases into it, and he's just like doing all this and stuff. Like, yeah, bro, he's done, you know, Andretti and Starks are done, and then he's hugging the crap out of him. It's just a great story. And he's like, hey, dude, I got you this new ring gear. He's like, is that leather? I really hope they expand on it, because it's a little tiny gem that I've noticed, and I really like it. So I hope, you never know, it could get something from there. But anyway, there's going to be that tag match next week with Ricky Starks and Andre versus Jericho, and one of those two. You already know Ricky Starks, he ain't going to go down. And if he does, Andre will probably be the one that takes the pin to, you know, protect Ricky Starks. It's his year. He's going to be champion. I've said this before. It's a known fact. So Ricky Starks, keep being absolute. I mean, we already know you will. But just want to say, just for my and our benefit. And Jericho, keep trying to knock him down. It ain't going to work, because there's only one Ricky Starks. And, you know, the revolution is televised. Good God, you guys. We knew when it was announced last week that this was going to be a match of the year candidate. And, oh my God, was it. Danielson, Bandido. This match was spectacular. I loved it from the first bell all the way to the last. It had me going like, holy crap, more times than I could count. It just proves to you, Danielson, you can't have a bad match. And Bandido is like that too. I haven't seen him have really one bad match since he's coming to AEW. I remember when I went to the show where he fought Chris Jericho in his first match in AEW. He tore down the house then, and he tore it down again tonight. There was not one part of that match where I was like, dude, this match isn't not a total instant classic. And once again, Danielson comes out on top. That's 2 down. He got 3 more to go over the next couple of weeks. The next person up is the Machine, Brian Cage. And don't worry, Brian Danielson. Oh my God, I feel like JR just said that. Anyway, he's gonna get through it again. And I actually like the name someone actually said. It's like the Brian Danielson G1 AEW Climax tournament for himself. And it kind of does feel like that, because he's putting on absolute classic after classic, just so that he can get his hands on MJF in that 1-hour Iron Man match at Revolution, which will also be an instant classic. He's the American Dragon. He does not ever miss. So go at him, Brian. I know you're going to kill it next week against Cage. And after that, I can't wait to see who else is going to try to step on the plate and stand in Danielson's way of getting to MJF. Just for tonight, Bandido, Danielson, thank you for an absolute amazing match of the year candidate. And it's only January. Whew. I can't wait to see what the rest of Danielson or Bandido produces for the rest of this year. I feel like they'll have a lot more match of the year candidates just in separate matches. But I'd love to see him run it back. So Why not? So, you guys, we had a little bit of an intriguing situation go on in the AEW women's division during like a pre-match, like backstage promo, and during the match with Will Nightingale versus Toni Storm. Saraya and Toni Storm actually ended up turning heel. That is not where we kind of expected this to go. Like 2 weeks ago, it seemed like Hikaru Shida was going to be one that turned heel. And it seemed people were behind the idea of that. But I think this is a smart route to go. Shida is good at playing a face, and we've seen Saraya and Toni Storm both portray heels, back when they were in WWE. But what's interesting to me about this is, and why it also works, is you might have just done a whole four-way double kind of turn, because I don't think they're really done with Britt and Jamie. So this, by virtue, makes Jamie and Britt faces, which makes sense with how over Jamie is. It's just easier to just give us what we want, because we're already cheering for her anyway. So when this feud probably picks back up, Saraya and Toni, they're the ones now getting fully booed, while Britt and Jamie are getting fully cheered like Jamie was already. And then that leads to, the big momentum. And then finally, BAM! Britt turns on Jamie. And I predict that's going to end up happening at Double or Nothing this year for the AEW Women's World Championship. Doesn't feel like that's going to happen at Revolution. I feel like that would kind of be a little rushed. Play it out. Let them establish themselves as faces again, because Britt hasn't been a face in a while and Jamie hasn't done it, period, yet. They'll both be fine, though. They've done it before, and they'll flourish. And Saraya and Toni will do that, too. But let it build up. Then, boom, do the big heel turn. Set up the big money match payout for this feud with Britt versus Jamie for the women's title. And then, boom, just send Jamie straight to the moon. Oh, actually, she's already at the moon. Send her to the stars. All right, guys, we closed out another dope episode of Dynamite with one last title match. Darby Allin's TNT title open challenge. It was accepted by the Japanese sensation Kushida. If you hadn't seen his work before, you were in for a treat. This match did not disappoint. Another super solid TNT title match from Darby. But what do you expect? He is another one that just doesn't miss. It's like he read the freaking book Bryan Danielson made over his legendary career. Because dude just has banger after banger after banger. He's literally, that's why I just love having Darby as a TNT champion. And I think someday he'll make a great AEW World Champion. He will fight anyone and everyone in any kind of match, and he'll put his body on the line for our entertainment pleasure. And it is just absolutely great. I love it. He was doing it with his last TNT title reign, and he's doing it now with this one. Anyone who wants to step up, get ready. If you don't bring it, you're going to get stepped on. You're going to have to literally, I said it back when he was TNT champion before, you were going to have to kill him to take it from him. Well, guess what? You're going to have to probably kill him twice for him to take that TNT title away from him again. Because he's holding on to it extra tight to make sure it doesn't escape his grasp again. So, probably just cross his fingers, Miro doesn't come back and say, let's run this back from 2 years ago, Darby. What do you think? But either way, I can't wait to see what Darby has left. He's going to have another really good TNT title reign. I'll predict him losing that for a while, just because of how great he is as a champion and just an athlete in itself. You can tell because the crowd still loves him, even without a championship. So, Darby, Kushida, props for this amazing match. I loved it. And whoever wants to step up to Darby next, make sure you bring it, because, and you got to be prepared for a banger when you face Darby, because that's just what happens. You go face to face with the dude who runs the TNT network, baby. Okay, you guys, that is Dynamite. Don't worry, though. The week is not over yet, because we got a big SmackDown coming up on Friday, followed by Rampage on that episode of SmackDown. It is the contract signing, Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, and we have the first round of the SmackDown Tag Title Tournament with the Banger Bros, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Do you like that name? It's perfect for them. Versus the Viking Raiders. Still feel weird that they're heels. I don't know. I just don't feel it after the whole thing with the New Day, not New Day Street Profits being funny over the pandemic. But anyway, the real moneymaker is, the Sammy Roman dynamic that we're going to have to see in the confrontation. Because either Sammy's going to bring it up or Kevin's going to bring it up. Sammy's going to be like, dude, did you not trust me last week? Or later on in the show, probably both will happen. Kevin's will be like, dude, you don't even trust on guys you're blood. Like, you didn't even trust Sammy to beat me last week. And he'll be like, oh. So, just furthering, continuing the story and getting us the big payout of Sami Zayn's mega face run after, the turn that's going to make us all cry and freaking regret and miss the freaking amazing days that have been Sammy Uso, the honorary Uso, Sammy Uso, my guy. But then it's not done after that, you guys, because that's Raw's 30th anniversary show, plus another episode of Dynamite, Bryan Danielson versus Brian Cage. More matches will be announced. And then the final SmackDown before, guess what, you guys? It's almost here. Royal Rumble. The road to WrestleMania is almost about to begin. I am so hyped. I can't wait to get to next week. But Friday's going to be a big night, big show. Before we get to then, just sit back, buckle in for a wild ride, because you know that contract sign is going to be really great television, and we're going to be like, damn, that was great again. So, until then, you guys, I will see you after SmackDown on Friday, but don't you ever forget, when it comes talking wrestling, who better to gab with than your boy, Gabe. Okay, you guys, see you after that contract signing melee on Friday. I'm out. Deuces, puces.